Hi there, welcome to this video, and this one is on shaft. I get so many questions on shaft. What's the right shaft for me? How do you choose the right shaft for you, for your game, for your swing, for your speed? Yeah, there's so many out there, aren't there? And I'll tell you what, it's flipping confusing because there are hundreds of models and types of shaft, and let's face it, you read the blurb, you read the marketing, what does it tell you? It says, well, this shaft is a high launching, low spinning shaft. Well, what the hell does that mean? Yeah, how can a shaft launch it high and spin it low? Yeah, how can this launch it high and spin it low? Because the shaft doesn't make any contact with the golf ball. So how can it do two things? Yeah, because if you launch it high, typically, yeah, you're adding loft. All right, you're launching it higher. Typically, you're also making the spin go high, because it's very, very difficult to disassociate launch and spin. All right, if you go up loft, you add spin. All right, it has been shown that in heads, let's take this head for example. So gear effect on a head, if you strike it higher in the face, what's going to happen is the face will tip up, the ball will launch a little bit higher, and the gear effect on the shot, well, actually as the head rotates, it actually reverses the spin, or it reduces the amount of spins on the golf ball. So a head can certainly influence a ball to launch high and spin low depending on where you strike it. Yeah, because there's a mechanism there. The ball's in contact, club head's in contact with the ball for a tiny amount of time, and the mechanics and the movement of the golf club against the ball can produce certain results. But when you're talking about shaft, yeah, and they tell you it's a high launching, low spinning shaft, nonsense really. So how do you choose the right shaft? And this is, when I first went out on the European tour and was fitting the top players in the world, first thing I had access to was hundreds of different shafts. I mean, if you spread them, they'd probably be a mile long if you put them, next to each other. So I asked myself, really, how do I know which shaft? If I'm going to go work with Thomas Pieters or Thomas Bjorn or Danny Willett or whoever it might be, how am I going to find a shaft that works for me? Should I start at the beginning and just work my way through them? How do you do it? So this is how I did it, all right? I basically characterized every single shaft. I gave every single shaft a character, all right? And I based it on weight, torque, and kick. Very simple. Kept it very, very simple, because all I wanted to do was I wanted to say, okay, for this player, for Alex Noren, I want him to have between 65 and 70 grams. So let's say 68 and 70 grams, yeah? I want him to have a little bit of twist, a little bit of torque in the head or in the shaft, because I want him to feel it, yeah? I think that Alex needs that. The way he loads a shaft, I think he needs a certain amount of torque. Let's say I want him to have, let's say, between 3.2 and 3.5 degrees of torque, all right? And, let's say Alex really flights it a bit too low. I want it to have a little bit more spin perhaps, maybe just a little bit more flight to it. So I actually want there to be a little bit of not a high kick which hits the ball low, let's have a mid kick, all right? So effectively what I've done there, I've put him into a heavy weight, I put him into a mid torque, and I put him into a mid kick, and I would call that HMM. That's an HMM character of shaft, and basically I took every shaft I had access to and I characterised it with these 3 letters and created a little booklet. So what I would then do is I'd watch the player, watch their speed, I'd look at their tempo, I'd look at where they strike it, I'd get their feedback in how it feels. Does it feel good? Does it feel soft? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? I can't feel it, I can feel it. All the feedback, all the words that players use, you interpret, and you come up with, right, what you need, you definitely need a bit of weight, all right? Or actually, no, you need lightweight. I want to help you create a bit of speed, let's say. You've got a smooth tempo, so I want to give you a nice amount of torque so you can feel the head. So let's give you an L for light, H for high torque, so LH, and actually I want you to hit it low, so I'm going to give you an LHH. That's a high kick for a low launch, so LHH. I've got my list of 500 shafts. I want LHH character shafts. Flip the book, put them all in category order. Suddenly I've gone from 500 shafts to probably about 12 shafts. Then I'd look at each individual shaft in terms of its little idiosyncrasies, the properties in it. I mean, pick one, yeah, based on the fact that this one's 3.1 torque and that's 3.2 torque. Tiny little difference, but you're picking it out for a reason, good reasons, logic as much as you can apply it to golf, and accepting that there are tolerances in the industry and there are different ways of measuring torque and weight and all this sort of stuff. So that's how I do it, you know. And I went on tour, created a booklet for myself, so I knew that when I was fitting a player, I could go and select a shaft that had the right character based on what I thought he needed. And you know what? It might not work, and that's fine, because at least I knew what that shaft was and why I'd chosen it. If it didn't work, well, you learn from that, because you gave it to him for a reason. You think it's going to work, it doesn't work, you learn from it. You go back to the drawing board, but you think, okay, hang on, let's just go a few grams lighter and let's try that. Or let's go a little bit more torque, or let's shorten it a little bit. You know, there are other things you can do as well. So, but you do think one thing at a time and basically gradually dial that shaft into that player. I've also got a consumer version, yeah, as in a golfer's version, a version for you guys, amateur golfers, club golfers, who are looking for the right shaft. And the thing is, what you've got to realise is that shafts aren't the same. You know, a regular flex shaft in a Callaway stock driver shaft is not going to flex or perform or feel the same as a regular flex stock shaft in a TaylorMade, as in a Cobra, as in a Titleist. They're all different. And actually, I've taken all those stock shafts, put them into the book, yep, taking the shafts that we also offer as aftermarket shaft options, because they might be a bit more refined and they might offer a little bit of something extra or different from what is available within that brand's stock offering. And you know what, that's it. And there's no magic about all this, although you could, you know, actually you could equate it to a flipping Harry Potter wand, couldn't you? Walk into the shop and you're looking for, you know, that wand, that character that suits that person. That's what we're doing. But you're doing it with some logic applied to it and a formula and a process, which is what we do at Eclipse Golf. So look, that's how it's done. This is a TPT, so this is one of a high-end aftermarket shaft. I really like these shafts for a number of reasons. I'll do another video on that at some point. But they've done something actually very similar. Okay, so they've actually got a number here which applies to the kick point, the weight, and the balance of the shaft itself. So they have a number that says, okay, well that number, you know, number 15 is for this type of player, number 16 is for this type of player, 17, 18, 19. So they've done something very similar, and that's actually one of the reasons why I really like it, because you know, in my mind it works. It means I've got a character of shaft that suits a certain player. So I can't give you an answer on a video about what the right shaft is for you, but I can look at your swing and I can say, you know what, I think you need this weight, I think you need this sort of torque, and I think you need this sort of kick. Right, here are the shafts that we have available to us. Let's try this one and that character. Let's see how it works, get the feedback, see the results, and then we can fine tune. All right, so that's how you got to do it, guys. You can't, you know, don't look at the next fandangled shaft on the market that's saying, you know, every tour player's using it. Because the tour players are using it because the reps are putting it into the tour players' hands and getting some feedback. Yeah, and the reps of the shaft brands are putting it into the tour reps' hands, who are putting it into the tour players' hands. Yeah, one player finds some success with it. Yeah, that word spreads, and all the other players, just like us, right? They're just like us on the range. You see your mate's club and it looks great, it works great. Do you want one? Yeah, tour players are exactly the same. They want, well, if that guy's having success with it, they want it. Yeah, and it might not be because of that shaft. It might be something entirely different. That's how it works. So don't be misled. Yeah, do it the right way. All right. If you want some help with your swing, finding the right shaft for you, the shaft is part of a number of different things you need to get right in terms of your golf equipment. But you know, get this bit right. There is a way of doing it, and there's a logical way of approaching it. Then you know, that's part of it. So yeah, just let us know if you need any help. It's not the easiest thing, but it's a great part of the fitting process to get this bit right. You've got to know what you're doing. All right, hope that helps. I'll speak to you soon.